In The Wealth of Nations, Adam Smith wrote of government policies that were harmful for or required for economic prosperity. We will consider both, beginning with Smith's case against harmful but popular policies intended to redirect trade. Smith referred to the doctrine supporting the harmful policies as the mercantile system. A merchant prospers by selling his product for money and measures success by monetary profit. In the mercantile system, this logic was used by the statesman and legislator to guide the economic policy for the nation. The objective was to sell products abroad in exchange for money, as a merchant does, and the standard of success for economic policy was the nation running a positive trade balance, exporting more than they import. The means to a positive trade balance were restrictions on imports and special encouragements for exports. These policies were widespread in Great Britain in Smith's time, as they are in the U.S. today. Smith mentions restrictions on importing live cattle, salted meats, and woolens. Although raw silk was not produced in Britain, manufacture of silk cloth was supported by restrictions on silk cloth imports, and makers of linen cloth were making their case for protection. There were also taxes on imported wheat. Smith showed that these policies do not increase the general industry of society, but redirect it in ways less favorable than free trade. This discussion is the context for one of Smith's two direct uses of the term invisible hand, which we considered in Week 1. Following the invisible hand passage, Smith urges his readers to be wary of any merchant who claims to be trading for the public good. The wise statesman will likewise be wary of requests for monopoly privileges, couched in language of the public good. What did Smith regard as the proper role for government? There are three. First, provide for national defense. Second, protect and administer justice. Smith regarded justice as a negative virtue. Justice is primarily in what we refrain from doing to one another. Government protects justice by preventing injury to person and property and enforcing promises such as contracts. The third responsibility of government is, in Smith's words, that of erecting and maintaining those public institutions and those public works which, though they may be in the highest degree advantageous to a great society, could never repay the expense to any individual or small number of individuals, and which it therefore cannot be expected that any individual or small number of individuals should erect or maintain. This comes close to the principle of subsidiarity, which states that tasks should be performed by the smallest and simplest entity that can perform them, in the family before the larger community, through private entities before government, and locally before nationally. Economists have taken Smith's idea that government should perform activities that are advantageous to society but could not repay the expense to an individual or small number of individuals and developed it into the theory of externalities, which we considered in Week 5. But externality theory has proved to be a weak constraint on government, for the claim of externalities is easier to make than to refute. If we remain true to Adam Smith's idea of the proper role for government, we would have nothing close to the Leviathan that government is today. Government would be instead limited, the provider of ordered liberty.